Has that 360 cam ever panned over to something embarrassing they didn't want it to? Dun dun
Dang,
What's it
zooming in.
doing, man?
dun.
What's this thing doing?
Letting us check out your pores, brother.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 15 of 2025. I'm Chris Louie, and my behind is sore from paying the tax man. With me, I have my co-host.
Oh shit.
With me, I have my co-host who never misses a dime to the IRS.
Yeah, I don't even know what I owe this year, but I know it's going to be painful. So I will find out probably the end of this week, which will be just in time to pay. So not good at all.
Not good.
I was holding off, thinking that Trump was going to get rid of all.
We're gonna abolish the IRS.
Yeah. I'll be paying April 15th, that's for sure, and not a moment sooner.
And we have Glenn Medina, who got his pipes cleaned this weekend and changed out a few toilets around his house.
Yo,
Pause.
pipes clean. What the heck?
Wow.
No,
Glenn the
I just
plumber.
I played plumber this weekend, so I replaced a toilet and the innards of a toilet. So that thing that leaks all night long, and you just hear it just kind of water settling in and out. It just bothered me. I couldn't sleep for the last couple weeks. So
It's usually the gasket.
Yeah, you placed the gasket. It was something else. It was, and then the thing finally just stopped flushing. I was done with it.
What is that?
Yeah.
So,
Have to
but
walk
yeah,
to one of the
done.
other 4 bathrooms in your house. How inconvenient.
Not quite. Just 2. And then the other one was leaking as well, so that's why that one got replaced. So,
Finally had to just do it.
yeah, it was a crappy weekend. Get it?
Dad joke of the week.
There you
So
go.
did you grow up fixing that kind of stuff, or do you just watch a series of YouTube videos? You're like, good enough, conk the rest.
No, I've grown up that way, like fixing stuff. Like I used to replace carburetors or rebuild carburetors with my dad on our 1975 Volkswagen Rabbit. So it's
Yeah.
fun times.
I remember the first time I took apart a carburetor, I was like, there's no way I'm putting this back together. There's so many parts.
I'll be honest with you, the springs on the inside with the choke was pretty tough. But then they came out with the Weber carbs, and those have auto chokes on them, and so it ended up being really easy at the end. So
That was before YouTube. Remember we had those, I forget the name of the company that printed the manuals. Those these really thick manuals, like thick as phone books, and you would use it and look it up. Like, this is how you remove a fender. This is how you rebuild the head. Now everything's YouTube and digital.
yeah, I mean, it makes it easier. But some of these guys, these content creators, they have no clue how to film. They have no clue what they're doing. If you listen to half of the stuff that's out there, you're going to break something, because some of these guys really don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
So I
You
found
should
it.
end the video with 3 additional screws. They're
You
just
don't know where they
spares. They reproduce when you pull them apart. Yeah.
yeah,
No guest this week due to spring break. I was late on scheduling somebody, but we have 2 guests in the next 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that.
all right.
Yeah, welcome back, Chris. We missed you, bud.
Thank you. Combined, we have decades of information security experience here, not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This week, we're going to talk about a quick closing the loop topic, a pair of T-Mobile topics. For our second story, the U.S. law enforcement gets some people's money back. Then, law enforcement shuts down a streaming service, and we'll close with LA trip talk. Quick closing the loop. Looks like Oracle did indeed suffer a data breach after vehemently denying it.
Say it ain't so.
They did so in a private communication to their affected customers with no public disclosure. They claimed that they lost authentication data from a legacy environment dating back to 2017. However, the threat actor says they used a 2020 JavaScript exploit to a 2020 Java exploit to deploy a web shell and deploy additional malware. Something tells me this is likely going to be Log4j. that Oracle themselves, the owners of Java, did not patch for Log4j. I just have a feeling.
The irony.
I would never have saw that coming. Oracle runs Java. Wow. What a plot twist.
Oracle is still denying the scope of the breach, even though the threat actor released data that is confirmed to be from 2025, and that same threat actor gained access to a production server to upload that text file with their email address. So we'll see where this goes next week.
Let me guess. Ransomware.
Yeah, thank you, Victor.
Yes. It was bound to happen, even to the almighty Oracle. Didn't Oracle used to do something like, you can't hack me, here's my social? Or is that just like the other guy?
That was a LifeLock guy.
LifeLock, okay.
Isn't this different, though, than is like falsifying the fact that you got breached versus not just saying anything that you did not get breached? This is the Uber thing, right? Remember that?
Right. Failing to disclose. Yeah, I think the other thing is Oracle still has not filed with the SEC to say that they had a data breach. So that'll be interesting to see if they get in trouble for this, depending how bad it is.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I mean, they at least disclosed to the customers. I don't know if what they've disclosed to regulators.
They have billion-dollar lawyers. They'll figure it out. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine. There'll be a slap on the wrist when it eventually comes down.
Yeah.
For our first topic, we have a pair of stories from mobile phone carrier T-Mobile. The first story is that T-Mobile accidentally leaked the location data of an unknown amount of children and elderly people. I think Brian might actually have this, but T-Mobile offers a service called Sync Up where parents and caretakers can put a device on their loved ones and get real-time information on their location. Very similar to an AirTag but on steroids. For a few hours, Sync Up users could not see the location of their children or loved ones, but saw the precise location of other children on the platform. There's a story of one mother that says she was trying to track her two kids. They get dropped off, and they go to daycare afterwards, and she's seeing if they made it there safely. She logged in, and she saw the location of like 8 other kids that weren't her kids, but she couldn't even see where her own kids were.
Oh, shit.
T-Mobile attributed the glitch to a software update they pushed out, which messed up the data accounts were able to see.
Well, I have nothing bad to say about T-Mobile for so many reasons. So I don't use Sync Up, so I do wonder, I don't use it. I didn't even know it was a thing. And between AirTags and Find My iPhone and Life 360, I'm surprised that this is a thing.
How many people do you think they had to subscribe to that? Is that what it is? Is there a number in there?
Oh, shit.
No, they didn't say how many subscribers. They didn't say how many were affected either. I think this is still relatively breaking news. I'm sure they're gonna have to figure those things out.
Yeah.
I think, Brian, you had the car tracker though, didn't you? It tells you like how fast they're going and where they're going.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I was.
Speaking of which, I need to get another one for now that my youngest is driving. So.
Teenager on the road.
You still have those on their cars? You don't remove it once they turn a certain age or they paid a certain portion of their bills?
We left it on there because they get a discount with the auto insurance. I think it's like an anti-theft device.
Oh, but it doesn't feed the insurance company that information, though, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No.
It's just so I can say I can track it and blah blah blah. Yeah, I pretty much it's the only time it's nice. I get. Oh, do I even look at it anymore? Not really.
Did I just pass it?
Don't need to. Right, I'm done coaching them. So if they want to get a ticket, that's on them.
Yeah.
You raise them to make good decisions on their own.
Yeah.
So, do you think there's any ramifications of this data exposure?
I mean, I think so. That other people were able to see the precise location of other minors. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some fines issued for this one because it's one thing to get somebody else's text message, it's another thing to see where other people's children are in real time.
I mean, honestly, I can just go outside and see kids. What's what's the difference? Does it show their name, date of birth?
Yeah, that I don't know.
Yeah, these are people with kids, right? So it's not like you have a stalker that all of a sudden had access to these kids' information, right?
Yeah,
unless it's a parent. So, and half of them are stalkers anyway, right, Brian? So
What if like this was a giant hack to kidnap someone's baby and take him to the embassy? I don't know. It's like a beekeeper plot twist over here. But,
Maybe, yeah. Some kidnapping scam. No, it seems like just negligence. They pushed out some bad code, took down the separation in accounts and the account data cross-pollinated. I mean, surely that can't happen to any sophisticated tech company, right?
I feel like it's like there was a flag. It's this like under profile, show your kids, show no kids, show all kids, and then it just got pushed out like hide my kids, hide no kids, and just show everyone.
Show
like,
8
what
random
are you
kids.
thinking?
There's a checkbox that says that.
Yeah.
Their geofence was off, is what you're saying. It's like, why is my kid in New York? And you're like, oh, I live in Seattle. How did that happen?
Can you imagine you open that up like I have 33 million kids? What the hell?
23andMe breach.
Yeah.
You are the father.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's always terrifying to log in, seeing what you hope to be your children, and you end up, first of all, not being able to find out where they are, and second of all, knowing someone out there probably knows where your kids are because the data cross-pollinated.
So this goes to saying, like, do you guys use a lot of services that are added by your cellular provider? I think there's like free OneDrive or free data storage. I never
Free
take
Hulu.
advantage of. Yeah. Do you take advantage of that? You guys?
You're talking to Chris. He is the cheapest man on the planet.
Yeah. Frugal.
I'm-
Frugal. He's frugal.
He's like, I'm like, Chris, why are you eating a dozen tacos right now? Like in this very important moment of our lives. Like, you can't reheat it, Brian. And so, like,
Taco
right?
Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. He's like, I got a free taco from T-Mobile, so I'm going to go eat lunch there. I'm like, but how much did you actually spend on lunch? $42, but it was one of the tacos was free.
Yeah.
The regret
That's how they
lasts
get
forever.
you. That's how they get you.
You had to buy 40 to get the one free. So
Yeah.
that's what he did.
I do. I had so T-Mobile. Yeah, they do give you a free Slurpee every month. So whenever I'm near 7-Eleven, I go in there and pick up my free Slurpee. And every week it's something different. Last week it was Wingstop. It was like Wingstop combo for a penny, and then they sold out in like instantly. People were complaining online about that. I do miss the Dunkin' Donuts. They used to do this deal where you get a $2 Dunkin' Donuts gift card every week, and I have 5 lines, so I'd get $10 worth of Dunkin' Donuts every week, and they used to let you save it. So at some point, I had like $600 worth of Dunkin' Donuts gift cards saved to my Dunkin' account, and just over time, I just buy like breakfast sandwiches for the kids or iced coffee whenever I'd go there, but. They stopped that.
Why did Chris gain 50 pounds this month?
Yeah.
600 pounds in Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, I haven't been back there. We don't go there quite as often now that I don't get the free gift cards anymore. But to answer your question, Glenn, the other benefit was I got Hilton because I don't have status at hotel, but T-Mobile does give you Hilton Silver status, so I did use that this past week for spring break.
It does?
Yeah.
I think I need to go back and check that out then.
I assumed you were like triple platinum or whatever already.
On
You
Marriott.
travel so much.
Yeah, on
Okay.
Marriott. Not on Hilton. So, yeah.
And actually I did use the T-Mobile rate for Hilton, and it was cheaper than booking through Booking Direct. So saved a little money that way.
I guess there's some advantages of that. Brian, I don't like I said, you use another uncarrier, right? So, any of those things that you take advantage of? Like I think you said Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu maybe it's Netflix, but then you have to pay for like multiple screens, but still it's a little bit cheaper. I think the kids. So we have like the older kids decided that they wanted their own cell phone account, which they regret. They're like, "This is the biggest mistake of our life," on so many different reasons. Like number one, they went to Verizon, and it was like actually worse.
Yeah.
2, one of the kids has the payment on autopay on her credit card, and so the other daughter forgets to pay her, and so like now she owes her like $1,000. She's like, I'll get you next month. I'll get you next month. So between all of that, we get like free Netflix, free Hulu, and I think they get free not ESPN, Disney, and they also have their version of Hulu as well.
It's all these streaming services, yet there's still nothing good to watch.
Yeah. Watched The Office last night. That was good.
Yeah. The other T-Mobile story is that T-Mobile has agreed to pay $33 million in damages to a man who was SIM swapped and lost $38 million worth of cryptocurrency.
Wow.
Unfortunately, at the time of the theft, the funds have appreciated, so if he had just held on to it instead of getting it stolen, it'd be worth over $165 million now, but who's counting? T-Mobile also settled with the Federal Trade Commission last year for $31.5 million in a similar SIM swapping probe. So now it's time that carriers are held accountable to help stop things like SIM swapping to make that problem go away.
So here's a plot twist. What if the person that SIM swapped them was actually the person that took the crypto?
That's
Think about it. It's impacting the bottom line, you know?
Yeah.
That's I'm not good at math, but over $100 million profit. So, yeah. How you like, catch me outside. How about that?
Conspiracy.
Yeah.
I remember the very first lawsuit. I think someone sued AT&T for lost $80 million worth of crypto, and I don't know where that case went, but at least T-Mobile is now being held accountable. And it is. I think they are somewhat culpable. Like the example they have, or the example I know of, is in Europe. You know how they have all those Zelle scams here in the U.S. Like, then the banks say, "Oh, you sent the money. You willingly consented to sending the money. It's your fault. You lost the money." But in Europe, if they have something similar to Zelle, if a customer is a victim of fraud in Europe, Europe makes the banks pay, and therefore the banks have like really, really tight controls on their version of Zelle now. So that's same thing here. If we hold T-Mobile accountable, the carriers accountable for SIM swap fraud, then they'll start actually taking it seriously.
Well, between physical SIMs now and the eSIM, it's just making life even easier to be malicious like that.
Did Pack-a-Punch moves?
A lot of it's social engineering too. You just call up the helpline, you get some minimum wage employee, probably someone not even making minimum wage overseas, and you just convince them. You have a baby crying in the background. It's like, "Oh, I need my phone. Just help me switch it over." And I don't have the account password. I forgot it. And that's partially it's that. And then I think the other thing, when I listen to like Darknet Diaries and they talk about SIM swapping, sometimes they just do like a smash and grab. They run into a T-Mobile store, they wait for the manager to type in their PIN on an iPad, and then they grab the iPad and run and then do the SIM swap that way.
Well, the SIM swap thing it's a real thing, right? I mean, it's for those that are trying to do two-factor authentication, send by SMS. I mean, we're still at that point where we're leveraging phones for SMS in order to authenticate. So there's still a lot of people out there companies out there that use that, which should try and get away from that in general.
It's the password reset. Like if you go to Gmail right now and I say I forgot my password, one of the options they'll likely give you is to send a text message to my phone number. So if they reset your Gmail, then they can reset your Coinbase, and they can reset this, they can reset that, they can disable two-factor. So
I'm gonna try that real quick. What was your email again, Chris?
Brian Deitch at briandeitch.com.
Oh no.
No, that's somebody else. That's somebody else that has that email.
Did I ever tell you, like, I was getting emails randomly over these years from, like, another Brian.
Yeah, it was someone like 401k plan or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so finally, another one came in, and he's, like, buying fabric or something. I have no idea. So I wrote to the lady that's saying the film in here. I was like, "Hey, I don't know who this Brian guy is, but he's using the wrong email address. You need to tell him." She's like, "Oh, my gosh, I'm so sorry. He's got like the same domain, but he has a different last name." I'm like, "How the hell is it just Brian Deitch, but instead of E before I, it's I before E?" I don't understand what's going on.
He has briandeitch.net.
That'd be so funny if you guys were doppelgangers of each other. It's like, "Hey, it's my long lost brother. We're both Brians."
I've Googled him.
The fabric salesman.
Yeah.
Can you imagine freaking handsome devil running around with my ID?
He sells rugs at Bazaar Bazaar.
He was actually your twin brother.
That guy. Yeah.
Or it'd be funny if he had a full head of hair.
Yeah.
I know, and no beard.
And no beard. Yeah.
Thick eyebrows, though. Very thick eyebrows, right? So.
Yeah. I'm thinking about changing my middle name. This would be different to EFFIN. I think it'd be
Brian F. and D.
Yeah.
Should do it.
Chris said it out loud and got it at the very end. He's all Brian F and D. Oh gosh,
Okay, thanks, man.
Yeah. We all knew what it was.
We all do it, man.
Chris did not. You knew, but
did
you're
not.
smart. Yeah, you don't fall for the clickbait.
All right, for our second topic, speaking of crypto scammers, U.S. law enforcement agencies have been able to recover $8.2 million in cryptocurrency linked to romance baiting scams, formerly known as pig butchering scams. The cryptocurrency recovered was USDT, or US dollar tether, a cryptocurrency notoriously known for being used in these pig butchering scams. The U.S. government did not actually recover the stolen funds, but they were able to file a legal forfeiture for the $8.2 million, and the company that owns USDT burned the original tokens and reissued them to the U.S. government to return it to the victims. USDT is unique that there is a single company controlling these tokens, so it's not truly decentralized.
Hey, this is good for someone that I actually know. Maybe they're gonna get some money back.
Hopefully. Well, and I was looking at the number, like, well, $8.2 million. I think the global losses are like the hundreds of billions. So this is literally a drop in the bucket. It's like trying to spit on a campfire to put it out. It's just, I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's not going to make it dead.
Spit on a campfire. You gotta give it that old Haktua.
Spit on that thing.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're right. 8.2 is not a lot, but it's something.
Something.
It's like a class action lawsuit. You're like, you got scammed out all this money, but here's 12 cents.
Yeah.
You could feed a family in some small country. They eat pennies.
So how does the government get this back to the victims? The victim has to actually file it, right? So is there a list? Maybe I could say that I got took.
Yeah, I think in the actual article it listed the actual victims. Like the victim losses range from a few $100,000. I think one person lost like $1.5 million to this scam, and I think they were able to trace the coins from those specific victims, and then those
now you
specific
get
victims
shamed.
the money back.
So not only did you lose the money, but now you're gonna get shamed publicly for having your name listed as part
In
being
some
part
kind
of
of
a
public
pig butchering
filing.
scam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
It's just one of those things, like we talk about it all the time. Smart enough to somehow have $1.5 million of disposable income, but not smart enough to identify all the red flags. This is clearly a scam.
she loves me. She loves me for me, even though I live in my mom's basement. So
Oh, what the
Hey,
fuck?
apparently mom's basement allows you to save money. Let's go.
I guess so.
Sure. Cost of housing and rent these days.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it's no
boy.
joke.
What are you talking about? The cost of your property taxes alone.
Don't remind me. I wonder if this is going to start shifting some of the behavior of the scammers now that they know USDT will like burn the tokens and reissue them. If they're going to either A, start laundering them better, or B, just start using something like Monero. Something that's a little less traceable.
Shit.
Because that was the whole draw of crypto. Like, it's irreversible. That's why every single ransomware gang accepts crypto, usually Bitcoin or Monero. It's because there's no going back. Once it's sent, it's sent. But apparently, with USDT, I don't know if USDC, which is USD Circle, also controls and can burn the tokens or not. But USDT, I've heard of the two stable coins. USDT is notorious for not doing, know your customer checks and being a favorite for scammers out there.
Anybody know who killed the first shock mimic?
So USDT, that's not a government agency though, right? That's just a coin, you say?
Yeah, it's a
Right.
company that issues a token. Like, you give me $1 US, I give you 1 tether. And that helps, like, if you want to buy this coin or that coin, you want to swap it, you want to send it to me, and without transaction fees, then you use these tokens. They're always pegged to the US dollar. They never, except for one time in history, I believe, it never gets knocked off its peg of $1, and that Well, that one time in history was when Silicon Valley Bank went under and people thought Tether would go out of business. I think it got knocked down to like 97 cents.
Do you use it? Does anybody, anybody uses USDT?
I don't, but I've heard that there's a lot of potential utility for them. And that's what we're hoping actually for Trump's second term, is that now that we have a crypto czar in place, that we can actually use USDT and USDC like stablecoins as a method of payment. Because if I open a business and I want to accept credit card payments from Glenn, like they'll charge me anywhere from 3.5% to 5% on the transaction. But if he sends me USDT or USDC, it's going to be pennies or fractions of a penny to send to me. So I think they definitely have their place, but we need the guardrails to.
That's not true, because I transferred money to a cold wallet with Bitcoin, and that cost me an arm and a leg.
Bitcoin, yes, but the stable coins run on a different network.
Oh, I think I remember. Who are we talking? Is that with Vic? Who are we talking about that?
It might have been Victor.
Yeah. All right. I stand corrected.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he was complaining that Bitcoin fees were too high, and I said no. Not now that we have this other network, SegWit network, like it costs pennies to send, tens of thousands of dollars.
There it is.
It definitely has its place, but we'll see if we get there. I think it's going to be a big threat to the credit card companies out there, because
I think it should be.
Yeah, they should have some competition. It's time for some competition.
I think they should.
There's a few ways to pay for things online. Credit card's the easiest. You remove the friction there. You could do by e-check, but who knows what their checking account number is? No one carries paper checks with them anymore. But if you can pay with these stable coins that will always maintain their value, for every tether that's out there, Tether is supposed to have $1 in the bank to cover it.
Well,
Okay, Federal Reserve remix.
Gold standard.
Yeah, but this just goes to show that the industry made something out of nothing, right? The fact that I use a credit card now gets charged, 3 to 5%, and then that just gets handed back to me. Like you go to some restaurants or stores now, it's like they charge you an additional 3 to 5% if you use a credit card, and I think that's BS. That should be, they should absorb that cost.
Yeah, it's like you pay for it anyway, because even if you don't pay the 5%, they're just going to raise their prices by 5%. So someone always has to pay it.
I was in a hotel somewhere, I can't remember what city, and had like a little Starbucks thing down there, right? I was looking for food in all the wrong places. And I believe that the Fountain of Youth must be real, because I saw what I believe to have been at least a mid-25-year-old person with a checkbook balancing it, sitting there. I was like, there's no way this is going on right now. I was like, it took everything in me not to just be very inquisitive. Like, what the hell's going on here? I don't understand why you are doing this, but whatever. Financial due diligence.
Yeah, it's good. People be
but like an actual ledger. Yeah, not even an Excel spreadsheet. It was literally reconciling. Oh no, it's wild. But whatever. Yeah, she probably has a lot more money than me.
I can't remember the last time I saw somebody try to pay with a check. Like, not like pay the daycare or whatever, but like go to a grocery store and say I want to pay by check. Like, I seriously cannot remember the time someone actually tried to pay for some goods using a check.
I have a great joke about that, but it would only make fun of Glenn's company works at, so I was kind of upset.
Hey,
I didn't say it.
All right, for our third topic, Kidflix is one of the largest platforms used to host, share, and stream child sex abuse material, or CSAM, on the dark web, and it was finally shut down on March 11th following a joint action coordinated by German law enforcement. Launched in 2021, Kidflix hosted over 90,000 unique videos with a runtime of over 6,000 hours while it was active. That means about 3.5 videos were uploaded to the platform every hour, which is pretty disturbing when you actually think about it. They operate on a model similar to Welcome to Video, where you could upload your own unique content and get credit to view other videos. It's a good thing they got taken down. It resulted in 79 arrests and almost 1,400 suspects being identified. So let's just hope everyone involved gets arrested and get what's coming to them.
What do you mean?
So this-
the resident? Kill them all. Let God sort
So
them out.
wait. This was in Germany, though, right? Because the German law enforcement had to get involved. It's not like any other countries in here were involved as well, right?
No, it's a joint action. I think there was it was probably being hosted in Germany, or a lot of the perpetrators were, but due to the nature of how the dark web and Tor works, we don't know. We might not know where they actually were, but the Germans took it upon themselves to at least lead the investigation.
That's an incredible amount of content, yeah. And yes, we still need to. All these people should just die. No questions asked. That's the what's coming to them, right, Chris?
It's more like put them in prison, and we'll see how they get treated once they're in there.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, what happens happens.
Put them
Especially
all on an island. What do you think would happen? Would there be an alpha there? I don't know. I have a great joke. Can you want to edit something out or no?
Sure, why not?
All right. So the guy goes. He's in prison and.
Oh, Brian.
Talk about a no-win situation.
I can hear nothing but bleeps, bleeps, bleeps.
They'll clip that
I
entire
think I
thing
have to
out.
clip the whole segment out.
Yeah, just that. At least I gave you time to buffer it.
You did.
Ask me at RSA. I'll tell you the joke if you're around.
There you go. I'm always interested in these takedowns, not only just taking down CSAM. I mean, that's a good thing this stuff gets taken down, but even like darknet marketplaces, I always want to know where the OPSEC went wrong, because if you truly run a dark web website, you do Tor, you have perfect OPSEC, in theory you should never be able to figure out who does it, who's behind it. It's usually when the webmaster slips up, they forget to use their VPN, or their hard drive gets seized and it's completely unrelated because they're doing some other weird scam. Then that's when they get caught. So I'm always interested in how they uncloak or demask these types of websites. Like if there's some kind of NSA exploit that they're just only sharing with law enforcement, that they can uncloak Tor users, that they use it for really egregious reasons like this.
Yeah, you would think that. You know what? I didn't want to speculate on how they could not get caught because I don't want to give them any ideas. Let these bastards get caught, or let these quack get caught. It was probably the guy who forgot to turn his VPN on. And when he realized it, he was like, "Oh man, oh man."
The jig is up.
He just melted. He's like, I'm cooked. I am so cooked."
Yeah, and that's how like Ross Ulbricht, he would never log in from home. He'd always log in from like a coffee shop or a library. So even if he did forget to do that, then he would it still wouldn't get traced back to his house.
Yeah,
He
but
was
still,
always around
eventually,
his
there's
coffee
like,
shop around his house, though, right? So it's like, hey,
Yeah.
this guy lives in
Yeah,
this
so
area.
you knew the general neighborhood if he in the event he forgot, but at least you wouldn't be able to trace it to his specific ISP.
what did Ross do again? Forgot.
He ran Silk Road, which is he's now free.
Oh yeah, he got free. Yeah.
Ross is
Did
free.
he get pardoned? Did he get pardoned, or
Yeah.
did he
He did.
just finish his time?
No,
Okay.
he had like multiple life sentences. There's no way he was getting out alive unless he got a pardon.
And who was that from? Was that from Biden or from Trump?
That was from Trump when he went to I forgot, it was like a libertarian event, and he said he would free Ross Ulbricht because he's a big in the libertarian circles. This is-
He did it though. I'll give him credit.
yeah, promises made, promises kept.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that. There's a story we did maybe 2 years ago or so. There's a guy on Facebook, and he was a terrible human being that he would just extort young women into sending him photos, and then that would lead to them sending him more photos. Horrible person, horrible human being. But he used the Tails operating system, which is a very privacy-centric Linux distribution. It uses Tor browser. It wipes every time you reboot the OS, like you boot it on a CD or a USB, and then Facebook actually, I don't know if I forgot if they purchased it. I think they purchased it. They purchased a Tails 0 day or a Tor 0 day just to identify this scumbag, because they said he has the best OPSEC. We cannot catch him. We know he's a problem. We can't catch him. We can't block him. And then they used this Tails 0 day, identified him, caught the scumbag, and then they reported it so it could get fixed. And Glenn just took another hit of the smelling. So is this gonna be like a weekly thing now?
Oh yeah, just trying to wake up.
Trying to wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I must have left my lid off because it went away. Well, Chris, you look a little apprehensive.
He's like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen that one before.
did that on purpose for you,
my
Brian.
God.
Yeah. You don't get too close; it'll burn your nose hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens
good.
in this. Hope everyone gets swept up and the world be a better place.
Yeah, no kidding. We don't need any of that. Ever. So.
Ever.
And set a precedent that if you want to start these types of websites, like you will get caught. Like, it's not worth
Yeah.
it.
Thy cheeks shall get clapped.
It's too funny.
All right, for our last topic, it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about. I thought we could talk about my spring break trip to Las Vegas. Los Angeles.
Always about you, Chris. Always
I
about
know.
you.
Hey, we
Okay.
talked. We had a whole topic about your Europe trip, Brian.
I don't recall that at all.
There's a couple of interesting observations that I made during the trip. I thought might be worth an interesting discussion. First, I already told you guys in the group chat, but I drove from around the San Francisco area down the LA area. It's about a 8-ish hour drive plus charging. So I brought the Cybertruck, and the whole trip, thankfully, only one person. So I only had one Elon hater the whole trip. I was just driving down 101, minding my own business, and this lady starts like honking like crazy and starts giving me the middle finger. I'm like, oh, this has to be one of those Elon haters. Because I didn't like cut her off or anything. I wasn't being a jerk while driving. But there's no other explanation other than she hates
Just a jerk in real life. Yeah.
Elon. And yeah, the Cybertruck is like the epitome of Tesla hate too. So I'm driving like a giant Elon hate
Speaking of
magnet.
which, there are like 15 Cybertrucks sitting on the lot in Vallejo, on the Tesla lot in Vallejo. Like 15. I sat there, I was like, these things are not moving right now. So
You know
I'm
why,
looking
Glenn?
for a really good discount. So
Bro, you can buy one with like 15,000 miles for like 60 grand right now.
really? Wow.
It's because the Cybertruck is under active recall because of that panel glue that might come off, and they can't sell it until they fix it, and they haven't been given the direction how to fix it yet.
Oh, so that's
That's
why
why.
they're not.
That's why
why
they're there.
sitting.
Yeah,
Ah.
and despite the fact that they couldn't sell the Cybertruck, I think for the last month of the quarter, it was still the best-selling electric pickup in the world.
Wow. Well, it's the only electric pickup in the world right now, right? I mean,
No, you got the
No.
Ram,
Other than-
you got the Ford Lightning.
Yeah.
you got the
Lightning,
Silverado.
I got the
who's
Silverado.
buying those? Who's buying those, right? So
No one.
no one.
Let's see. So, LA drivers, very aggressive, I would say. I think it also has to do with my next point, which is just random traffic at random times. Like, I think we went out to dinner. Like, I expect traffic during rush hour, but we finished up, I guess, dinner relatively late, and there's still traffic. Like, there's just traffic at all hours down there. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not weird. It's just no, and for no explanation too. Like, drove down 101 from San Francisco to about Ventura, like almost zero traffic. There's just no reason at all. I just roll into Ventura County, bumper to bumper traffic, get to the end of the traffic. There's literally nothing. There's nothing. It's no merge. There's no accident. Just for no reason, there's just traffic.
It's typically a curve in the freeway, or like an on ramp or off ramp. It happens all the time. I've seen it. It's like, why is everybody stopping? You get past it. We're like, it was just a turn in the freeway that was going like maybe, a little past 45 degrees. So it's crazy.
I should have
Jesus,
consulted.
more than 45?
Well,
That's pretty sharp.
it could, yeah,
I should have consulted.
Yeah,
Glenn,
I would come to
like,
could
complete
be like
stop
125. They'd still be stopping, right? So anywhere between 45 and what's that? And
The random U-turns.
yeah,
It turns to the freeway.
it's crazy. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. You said 45. I thought 90. My bad. Edit that out, Chris.
Edit that out. And same story when we left LA. We left like 7:30. I mean, not like middle of the night early, but early enough that we still hit traffic on the way out. And Same thing. After we left Ventura County down there, it was just clear the entire way. I even hit like construction near Santa Barbara. It was one lane, and there was no traffic. Like traffic still flowed.
Nice.
Traffic went down from 3 to 2 to 1 lane, and there was still no traffic. But just for some reason, this LA traffic is just horrible, which I already knew, but I just forgot exactly how
San
bad
Francisco's the same way, though. Come on, man.
it was.
San
Yes,
Francisco's the same
but-
way. Yeah, come on.
Well, I would say 101 always heavy during rush hour. At least if you go on 101 at maybe 1 p.m., there probably won't be traffic. But I guarantee in LA, you hit the 405 or the 110 at 1 p.m., it's got to be bumper to bumper.
It's the nice thing about LA. Everything's an hour away. Whether it's
Yeah.
1 mile or
Yeah, that was the thing. When we were mapping out restaurants from our hotel, it's this place is only 2 miles away. 45 minutes.
oh my gosh. I would tell Grace, put one kid on your back, I got the other. We're running, baby.
Could have took a
Did
rickshaw.
you? So I would say in the traffic, I would 100% be like, we're in self-driving mode, close proximity, and just veg out, right? Put the sunglasses on and just cruise.
Yeah, that's
Did you do that, or
that's
were
what
you
I
not allowed
did.
to?
Yeah, I would say I use full self-driving 75 to 80% of the time. I would say
Okay.
I turned it off in LA, when it was because the other thing about LA traffic is it just stops for no reason, and it stops really fast. So you have to be paying attention. I saw multiple rear-end accidents on the side of the road in LA traffic. It's just
Probably no
because-
Teslas, though.
no Teslas. Yep, that is true. But yeah, FSD did really well, I would say. It did a couple weird things. I think the whole trip was maybe slightly under 1,000 miles. I had maybe a few disengagements that I had to do, but overall, it is way less stressful using the full self-driving than having to pay attention, 100% of the time.
I feel like I'm less tired in a drive in which the car is driving itself. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then
Mostly because I sleep a lot when we're driving, but yeah, with full self-driving. Just take a little nap here and there.
yeah, and then
I feel-
charging, I charged twice. I charged twice on the way down, only because it was pouring rain here and freezing cold, so the battery wasn't quite as efficient as it should have been. Coming back, we made it on one stop.
Did you get anywhere close to the 400-mile range?
No, it was from here to San Luis Obispo was 230 miles. So I was in low. So it's rated for 310. I drove 230 actual real life miles, and I was already in the yellow.
You don't like getting on
reserve.
there in 0 day?
But it's hilly, it's windy, so lots of other.
You're driving a
factors.
brick.
That's not
Yeah.
making it.
But it did charge really
An
fast.
it's an aerodynamic brick. Come on, man.
Yeah, if the battery's
Kinda.
preconditioned, you can get 20 to 80% in less than a half an hour. And on this trip, the car was waiting for us because we do a bathroom break or we grab lunch, and the car was done. I'd have to go out there and unplug it and move it because it was already done before we were.
Wow.
That's not
So-
bad then.
So did you have did you get full tinted windows all the way around, so dark that you can't see inside?
I have not, and I think the factory tint is actually pretty good on the back.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
would have considered maybe putting a shade darker on the front, but so far I haven't had any real issues with it.
Because I think people would think twice before sticking their middle finger right at a car that you can't see inside.
Tinted windows. Just roll down and a gun comes out of the window.
Because that doesn't happen in LA, right? Because you do that in LA, and you might get shot back at. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing is the whole purpose of going down to LA was went to Universal Studios down there. Life pro tip that Costco has the season pass. So on Brian's point of saving people money, we knew for sure we were going to go there for 2 days because you're going with a friend, and the Costco season pass pays for itself in 1.5 visits. So we bought the season pass. We ended up going 4 days actually, so it paid for itself many times over already. But the unbridled capitalism, very similar to my trip to Disneyland, just everybody wearing and buying the merch there and everything, severely overpriced. There was there was these Mario headbands that people would wear. It's same thing with Disney headbands. It's cool to walk around the park with it, but you'll likely never ever wear that thing ever again unless you're outside the park. And those things are $25. And then We went to Super Nintendo World. They call it Mario Land, and you have to buy these wristbands to play like some of the games. Like, there's one ride you can't even get into unless you buy this wristband, and the wristband is $42. So for a family of 4, that's $168.
So on top of the ticket that you paid already to get in, you have to pay additionals to ride this ride.
Yeah,
that is crazy. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, so the wristband, you take it around the land, like you interact with it. Like you could hit the power blocks, and you can get coins, and you could play these like physical in real life games to earn keys, and then once you get enough keys, you can ride this one ride. But without it, you can't do it.
Yeah. How much is too much? Like at that point, you're like, it's nickel and dime. It's just like some cloud service that I used to work at, right?
Add on.
They just
That's
charge
an
you for
add-on.
that,
Wait a
change you for
second.
this, change you for that.
Let me tell my joke.
That triggered Brian.
You son of a gun. Yeah. How was the food, Chris? Did you gain weight even with your
Food
27,000 steps a day?
Food was actually good, I would say. Like we watched a video before we went about all the food choices there, and so we knew like where to go, where not to go. Like because when you go to a theme park, you think of hamburgers, chicken tenders, funnel cakes, things, ice cream, things like that. But in Mario Land, they had something called the Toadstool Cafe. It was nice. Like they had like short rib. I got like a 1-pound spicy meatball, and they had like nicer, more gourmet foods. And then the second day we had got good barbecue in Harry Potter Land. They had a good barbecue spot, which is decent barbecue. I mean, chicken is usually pretty dry when you go to theme parks, but this chicken was actually pretty good. We got the chicken and ribs and a couple other things. And then the third day we went to Simpsons Land. So I got a Krusty Burger. They had the Rib Witch there, if you remember that. It was a play on the McRib. So I got the Rib Witch there, and then
Of course.
Cletus's Chicken Shack. You know the redneck from The Simpsons. His name's Cletus, and he opens up a chicken store. Yeah, so we did there, and then I went to Moe's Tavern there, which is cool. So food's actually pretty decent if you know where to go. Like if you just grab a random hot dog or corn dog, maybe not so much. But if you go to these places, it was pretty good.
So average price of that capitalism food that you were eating?
I think we're averaging about $70 a day for a family of 4. Yeah.
How many meals did you guys share? Jesus.
We only ate lunch there. So that was another good thing about Universal is they were not strict about bringing outside food in. Like we saw people bring in like Chipotle bowls and stuff. Like Disneyland, I think is really strict unless it's dietary need. Like they won't let you bring it in. But we were bringing in like Lunchables and other things that the kids could eat. So we really only had to buy like one big meal in there.
So you share
Next
one
time-
giant hot dog and just...
So, real quick, so you said the Mario bands, right?
Yeah.
Made me did you say headbands or just bands?
A wristband.
Oh, okay. So I heard headbands, and it made me think.
Oh, yeah. So there is that. So there's Mario headbands that you just put on your head and it just has Mario characters on you. You just look like a raving fan when you walk around the park. The wristband is the thing you need to play the games and to ride the ride.
So I would tell you that I think is Marvel's owned by Disney now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next time you guys go to Disney World, and you see people walking around with like the Mickey ears or whatever ears, there is a very distinct theme of what the people look like that wear the Loki ears, Loki. I'll just leave it at that. You'll see. Like
All right.
Yep, I get it, Brian. I get it.
I'll search for that one online.
Look at you.
The Loki ears. And I guess the last comment I'll make about Universal, they do not have very many thrill rides. Like I remember when I went to Universal Florida, I think they had like this roller coaster that would go straight up and then would just like I don't know, 30 stories and then drop you. Like those are the rides that I miss. But Universal Hollywood, they are building the Fast and Furious ride, which looks really intense, but that's not going to be open until next year. But they had the Mummy, and that was a purely indoor ride, and they're kind of limited what they can do indoor. They can only drop you so far, but they didn't have very many
violently
thrill rides. Yeah,
Most of it is like
that.
3D animatronics, right? Where they just sit in a basket and they just kind of move you around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the Minion ride was like that. The Simpsons ride was like that. The Harry Potter ride was like that. There's a whole bunch of rides where it's like it's all VFX. Like you're in a box and they shake the box, so it makes it feel like you're on it, but you're not actually moving anywhere.
Yeah.
Did they have Harry Potter Land? Because the one in Orlando was like it was actually two separate theme parks, and you could take a train. But it was
Hogwarts
like a whole
Express.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they have that?
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, they had a Harry Potter
That's actually
Land,
pretty cool.
the Hollywood one. It's smaller than the one in Orlando. I think just for space reasons. But they had all the things. They had like Ollivander's Wand Shop. They had the.
They didn't have the roller
they had
coaster.
Hogwarts.
No,
they did not. They had like a small roller coaster. They didn't have like or the one in Orlando had the Twin Dragon one that goes upside down.
Yeah,
this
that's
one
the
had
one.
like a very kid friendly roller coaster. Which my kids don't like the thrill ride, so that was fine for them. I think they rode that like 8 times or more.
Yeah.
I
And of
will
course,
say,
you had to buy all
having
the
never-
wands.
I got one wand.
I've never actually watched any Harry Potter, but I will say that my favorite time at Universal was in Harry Potter. I thought it was pretty cool. They did a great job there.
Yeah, I mean their attention to detail is excellent as well. So like when we went to Harry Potter Land, they had the Owlry, which is like their version of the Postal Service. They actually like painted like white spots on the floor to make it look like they pooped on the floor. And then
No, it was
That's
me.
detail. That's
know
the
that.
detail that you're
That was
looking for.
bright. And then in Mario Land, like everything was mechanized there, and a lot of attention to detail there. So I mean you know where your money goes. At least they invested in the park, but still $60 for a wand or $42 for a wristband. Well, luckily one of my kids' friends went there. They bought the wristbands. We just borrowed theirs, but otherwise we would have to spend more money to buy these wristbands so they could play the games there. But overall, good trip. I'd recommend it if you do go. Buy the Costco season pass. That's definitely worth it because we can go back there for the next 11 months.
Did you make the kids wait while you did the thrill rides? Because they're not nearly tall enough for some of those, right?
Yeah, so the other capitalism part. So one day we paid extra to go into Mario Land an hour before everyone else because the Mario Kart ride in Mario Land gets long. Like the longest I saw it was like 2-hour wait for that one. So it's worth it. I think you pay $30, get an hour early, and we rode Mario Kart like 4 times in that hour. And then the other day we did the Express Pass, which lets you cut the line 1 time per ride per day. And we went with another couple, and they had 2 kids the same age as ours. So I think Grace is not a thrill ride person, so she watched all the kids while the 3 of us rode the thrill rides. So that's how we got away with that one.
Wait, who's the 3 of us? Who else went?
There's
another family?
Yeah, there's another family.
Oh, okay.
The husband and the wife like thrill rides, and I like thrill rides. So the 3 of us would go off, did the thrill ride, and we use the Express Pass, so then Grace didn't have to wait too long for us. But that was my Universal experience and my LA trip. Oh, great Korean barbecue! Like there was no bad Korean barbecue place we went to. On the other thing. Oh, actually, so I said that was the last thing, but this is the other last thing. So it was funny. We went to 2 different restaurants. One Korean barbecue was in Koreatown, and we had to go through sketchy areas of LA, I would say. I think Koreatown is not located in a great area. At least the area surrounding it is not great. And then you drive, you can get to Koreatown. And then we went to another restaurant, and you drive, and you go through, it wasn't Beverly Hills, I think it was North Hollywood. And you could tell when Skid Row ends and when North Hollywood starts. Then you drive through these mansions. Streets are clean, no trash on the ground. Like, you could tell exactly where the border is between Skid Row and North Hollywood.
Of course. That's too funny.
Yeah.
$10,000 later, Chris has to go back to work. So.
Indeed, make a podcast. All right, well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, Glenn is up.
Yeah, so along with, doing the plumbing this last weekend and got into an argument with the wife. And needless to say, she kept hammering on me to tell me that I was wrong. And then she finally said, hey, you should embrace your mistakes. So I went up to her and gave her a hug.
Wah, wah, wah.
Needless to say, I slept in the doghouse the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. Don't make fun of your wife's decision. You were one of them. So.
What's that? There's that joke that says, don't criticize your husband's flaws too much. It's those flaws that stopped him from finding a better wife.
That's right.
Glenn's addicted to the smelling salts. What the hell?
So I think we created
Let's
a
go.
monster. All right, to wrap things up, T-Mobile is having a bad InfoSec week. Law enforcement was able to claw back pig butchering losses. Police shut down the Kidflix streaming service, and capitalism is alive and well. That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You can find us all on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to our listeners and subscribers. Rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify, and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. Best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast on your favorite podcast listening app. My co-hosts Brian Beach and Glenn Medina. I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next weekend. As always, have a nice day.
Felicia.
See Chris out.
Have a nice day.